It was all smiles last night for the Tribe at Progressive Field, and the game started off with a bang. There's a drive to deep right field. Back is Swisher, still going back, looking up. It is gone to Souvenir City. Michael Brantley with a 2-out, 3-run homer. And he stakes the Indians to a 3-0 lead. Now the Indians have a chance to win the series against the Bronx Bombers, and Ubaldo Jimenez will try to duplicate the effort of Justin Masterson next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, it's the Indians and the Yankees as the Tribe tries to take 2 out of 3 from New York. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe got a terrific performance last night from Justin Masterson. He allowed 1 hit in his first 4 innings, and then Ricky was able to work out of some trouble later in the game. He gave them exactly what they needed.
Well, he brought his A game to the ballpark last night. He had great movement on his 2-seam fastball. He was locating his slider, and he went out there very aggressive that first time through and got the outs when he needed it. When you look at Justin Masterson on the year, though, 10 times this season, allowing 1 earned run or less. He was out there. He pitches very well in this ballpark. So Justin did exactly what the Indians need. That's the formula, what they need when they got to get a win.
Well, today we're looking for something that we haven't seen a lot of this year, and that's for Ubaldo Jimenez to follow up a Justin Masterson win with one of his own. It's only happened twice all season long.
Well, let's hope it does, because I'll tell you, Ubaldo has been struggling in the second half, 1-5 with an ERA of 8. So he's got to come out. He's got to have his breaking stuff. This Yankee team right now, they're struggling offensively. So he's got to go out, be aggressive. Don't give him any extra base runners or walk anybody. On the year, he is 5-3 at home with a 3.35. That's much better than what he is on the road. He'll be matched up against the veteran Freddie Garcia. In his last 4 starts, 3-0 with a 4.50. But Freddie got a win this year against the Indians, but that came out of the bullpen in New York.
Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup. Get to a Nissan dealer for special offers on innovation that excites. Well, last night the Indians stopped their 9-game losing streak. Ubaldo Jimenez will try to stop an odd streak of his own here today. He hasn't had a 1-2-3 first inning in his last 22 starts. We're back with the play-by-play action coming up next. Progressive Field as the Indians and the Yankees finish up their 3-game series. The Indians coming back with a win last night and a chance to take the series if they can get a victory here this afternoon. It'll be 83 degrees at game time with lots of sunshine overhead. Before the ball game today, John Glenn, the astronaut, paid tribute to the late Neil Armstrong and then shook hands with several members of the ball club, got a jersey autographed by the team, and then went out and tossed a first pitch to Sandy Alomar.
You know, not many guys get up there, and he went all the way to the mound, didn't he? You got to love that. Good job. Even though he went underhand, Sandy caught it.
That's all right. You know, back in the old days of baseball, they used to throw underhand. I never knew that until I read about it one time. I mean, that's where they kind of delineated Modern era?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. He went all the way up to the mound. You see a lot of guys, even young guys that throw out first pitches, come out to the grass and throw it. He went all the way to the rubber. I like that.
All right, let's take a look at Joe Girardi's starting lineup for the New York Yankees today. They'll be opposing Ubaldo Jimenez. Yankee starting lineup brought to you by Kia. Derek Jeter, Nick Swisher, Robinson Cano at the top. Then Mark Teixeira, Curtis Granderson, and Eric Chavez. Raul Ibanez, Ichiro, and Chris Stewart batting ninth. He'll do the catching.
Take a look at Ubaldo Jimenez, brought to you by MLB.com at Bat 12. Celebrate 10 years of live baseball with MLB TV Premium for only $10. Jimenez now making his 26th start. In his last 14 starts after an Indians win this year, he is 5-8 in the next start with an ERA of over 6. And we told you in the open, only 2 times has Justin Masterson and Jimenez gone back-to-back wins on the year. They're going to try and make it 3 today if Jimenez can follow suit in the game that Masterson pitched last night. Hopefully he can. He pitches much better at home, 5-3 and a .339 earned run average. He did lose to the Yankees this year. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, and 4 runs. He did strike out 7. Let's set the defense behind Jimenez this afternoon. It stacks up this way. Carrera is in left field. Brantley is in center, Chewin right. Hanahan at third, Cabrera at short. Kipnis is at second, Kochman at first with Santana behind the plate.
The crew chief, Gary Cedarstrom, will call the balls and strikes. DJ Rayburn at first, Field and Culberth at second, Adrian Johnson down at third. Yankees 73 wins, 53 losses. They lead the American League East by 3.5 games over Tampa. The Rays have lost their last 2. Indians, of course, in 4th place in the AL Central at 55-71 after stopping their 9-game skid with a win last night. Jimenez looks in, he winds, and today's first pitch is outside of Derek Jeter for ball 1. Missed again, 2 balls, no strikes. In the American League Central Division, the White Sox have won 5 straight. They lead Detroit by 2.5 games. Now the 2-0 to Derek Jeter, and it's fouled back. Jeter has gone 4 for 9 in the series with a double. And really just a very typical Derek Jeter-like series in Cleveland.
Yeah, he wears it out here, doesn't he?
Out of play, 2-2. Yeah, career batting average for Jeter of .366 in Cleveland. It's his highest ballpark batting average. 2-2. A little bit low, and now a full count. Jimenez the wine and the 3-2. And a smash to second. Kipnis on one hop, fields it, fires it. 1 away.
He got inside on him right here. That was a piece of high cheese right there that he didn't hit all that well. Kipnis able to get over into the hole and make the play.
Here's Nick Swisher. Switch hitter has gone 4 for 7 with a double and a home run. The 1-0 pitch. Up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. And a swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strikes. Swisher goes the other way. Hand-to-hand with a diving stop, but he can't corral it. And Swisher has himself a base hit.
Well, a pretty good job, because when the count came in his favor, the defense shifted over. And what happens? They gave him the left side of that infield, and that's exactly what Swisher did. He went the other way and got himself a base hit. So he has hit his last 16 in this ballpark. Even if Hanahan comes up with that cleanly, he's not going to be able to throw him out.
No, I was thinking the same thing, Rick. Even if he'd have been able to pop up, he wasn't going to throw Swisher out.
So the string will continue for Ubaldo as far as a 1-2-3 first inning.
And a first pitch strike to Robinson Cano. The top 3 hitters have done all the damage for New York in the series. Jeter's 4 for 9, Swisher 4 for 7, Cano 3 for 6, all coming into today's game. The rest of the lineup has 3 hits combined. One ball, one strike. In the base hit into right field. Swisher will stop at second. And the Yankees have back-to-back hits here in the first, 2 on, 1 out.
Well, the top part of the lineup continues. This guy, he's swinging it very well, and he has had success against the Indians. That's just a picture-perfect swing. Finds the hole. So first and second now with an out.
Now Mark Teixeira, who he's in a funk offensively. We have seen him where you throw a ball anywhere near the plate, and it seems like he hits everything 400 feet. But right now he's got looks like an uppercut in his swing, like he's trying to launch everything.
Well, he could. I mean, he could be. He's a home run hitter, and he has streaks. He's a good high ball hitter. He likes the ball elevated. And right now he's not in that groove.
Foul back.
Pistano got in his kitchen, on a pitch when he had the count in his favor.
Broke his bat and popped him up.
Yes, he did. Got the big out after the Cano walk last night. That was a very big out for the Tribe.
Best ball he's hit in the series was a sac fly last night that he hit to deep center field. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. Really had him fooled.
You can see the last 3 games, 1 for 11. So that's why you don't necessarily have to go at Cano the way he swings it.
And the 2-2 in the dirt. Full count. 9 balls, 9 strikes for Jimenez. Check of the runners, and the 3-2 is fouled away.
That's a pretty good pitch. Ends up just getting a piece of it to stay alive.
Carlos continues to turn his leg. He exposes the inside part of his leg, and he's been hit a lot in that area. That time down on the foot.
I think you would learn, wouldn't
you?
You would learn. How many times do you have to get hit?
many times do you slam your hand in a car door before you get your hand out of the way?
Well,
the 3-2. Swung on and missed, and Teixeira continues his struggles in the series. 2 down.
comes at him with a good split-fingered fastball. You remember in his last start, he was bouncing that early, and he went away from it. He had to go to the curveball. There's a good one. Today it looks like he's got a feel for it early, and that's what it is. It's a feel pitch. He was spiking it and bouncing it a lot in his last start against the Mariners.
So much so that a few of those bounced a good 3 to 4, if not 5 feet in front of home plate. The 0-1 to Granderson, fouled back. Santana took that one right off the top of his mask. League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. There's the home run leaders in the AL. Adam Dunn.
What a year
Josh
he is
Hamilton.
having.
Encarnacion, he's the one guy you think, not a guy you expect to see there in that list, but he's having a tremendous year.
He's having a solid year. When you think if Bautista was in there all year, that 1-2 combo there, Bautista went back on the DL again.
The 0-2. A ball and 2 strikes. And then is trying to get out of trouble here. And Granderson sends a fly ball to left. Back is Carrera. He'll make the catch. So Jimenez works around a couple of base hits here in the first. The Yankees do not score. The Indians coming to bat. Bottom of the first inning, and we'll get a look at the Indians starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Kipnis, Cabrera, and Chu, Santana, Brantley, and Kochman. Michael with the big home run yesterday. Then Laporta gets the start at DH, Hanahan, and Carrera.
Freddie Garcia, the starter, 7-5 this year, 4.96 ERA. You can see making his 15th start.
First pitch, outside ball 1 to Jason.
He last started against the Indians back on June 12th at Yankee Stadium of 11, and did come out of the bullpen in June this year and picked up a win in the Yankees' 5-4 victory. This is a guy that he's going to throw everything at you, and including the kitchen sink.
2-1. And for a strike. That'll even it up. Jason hitless in the series, trying to get it rolling offensively once again. He Looked like he was starting to come out of it on that last road trip. Takes close. And a full count.
Sitting inside, you get a pitch, that's a strike. I'll tell you what, we've seen a lot of that recently.
Hard ground ball hit by Chavez at third and into left field, and the Indians have their leadoff man aboard here in the first.
That's what Jason's been doing lately to get that swing back. He got him a high breaking ball out over the plate. He stayed on it to go the other way.
Remember in Seattle he was doing
a lot well,
of
he caught a break because the pitch before looked like a strike on the inside corner. So he didn't get it called. Garcia goes away, so he stayed on it, and he slaps it by Chavez over at third base.
It snaps an 0 for 10 for Kipnis, and it brings up Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera just 3 hits in his last 23 at-bats. Looks at ball one.
You can run off Garcia. Opposition's 12 for 14 in stolen base attempts. Because that's the big, he'll throw a lot of slow breaking balls as well, like he did right there.
Cabrera, good success against the Yankee right-hander Freddie Garcia. The Indians are looking for a series win for the first time since the last week of July, when they took 2 out of 3 from Detroit. Runner goes. Pitch inside. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Jeter tried to short hop it. And Jason Kipnis with his team leading 24th stolen base of the year.
That's what you want to do. Apply the pressure early. Kipnis, not a great lead, but you can see he gets a pretty good jump. And then the throw by Stewart. It's a low throw that Jeter just has to knock down to get out of the way. So it's stolen easily by Kipnis.
That hit him right in the shin.
Ouch.
Which is why Jeter needed an extra moment to gather himself.
Sure did. It never got leather, did it?
2-1 popped him up on the infield. Chavez says he's got it. Wow, 1 down.
Let's check out the Yankees defense, brought to you by Home Depot. In the outfield, it's Ichiro in left, Granderson in center, Swisher in right. Chavez at third, Jeter at short, Canoa's at second, Teixeira at first with Stewart behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Brings up Shin-Soo Choo. Choo 0 for 7 in the series. And Garcia misses low, ball 1. Takes a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Garcia fires, and he catches the inside corner. Choo doesn't like it. He's down on the count of 1-2.
Well, we'll see. One was not called, one was called. We'll see if the consistency stays this afternoon. Because that's a pitch that can make Garcia really tough if he gets a call on the inside corner. Because he's primarily an off-speed breaking ball pitcher, but when you throw a lot of off-speed pitches, you got to command the fastball. And a lot of times, instead of getting guys leaning out over the plate, you got to buzz them inside.
39 of his last 40 strikeouts have come on a swinging third strike. The 2-2. Chu lifts it in the air to right. Swisher will make the catch. 2 away. You don't think of him at this stage in his career as still having swing and miss type stuff, but obviously he's able to keep hitters off balance enough when he gets the 2 strikes.
He knows how to pitch. He's a veteran. He's been around a long time. You remember when he first came up with Seattle, what a good pitcher he was.
Oh, yeah.
Number
Dynamite
one
arm. He was second to Carlos Beltran in the American League Rookie of the Year voting back in 1999. Both of those guys have panned out pretty good. You know, there for a while, when the Indians seemed to always be finishing second in Rookie of the Year voting to Bob Hamlin and Pat Listach, those guys never panned out. And a lot of times that Rookie of the Year winner doesn't always live up to the potential.
No, sometimes it seems like it's a kiss of death.
More of a curse than a blessing. Jason Kipnis in scoring position after he singled and stole second, but Cabrera popped up, Chu flied out. And now the 1-1 to Carlos Santana is up high. 2 balls and a strike. And Santana almost offered at it, but held up, and it's 3-1 now. The 3-1 pitch. Caught the inside corner, full count. He lives on the edges.
Well, there's 2 out of 3.
And the payoff pitch. Hit foul up the first base line.
It is a bright sunny day here today. We'll see the guys just like Chavez in the first having to shade your eyes if you're going to get up on a fly ball today. People may need some help out there.
And the payoff once again is fouled back. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up now on a 3-2 count. One more time, the 3-2. Popped him up. Stewart makes the grab, and Freddie Garcia just fooling around with the Indians hitters here in the first inning, and he's got them off balance right out of the gate.
AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers.
That's how Rick got to work today.
Yes, I did. That's why I needed that stick. The waves weren't going with me.
Eric Chavez leading off inning number 2 for New York. Looks at a ball outside. 1 for 8 in the series for the Yankees third baseman. Down low. Now a 2-0. And that paints the outside corner right at the knees for a strike. Yankees have left a lot of guys on base in this series. Stranding 2 in that first inning. They've left 11 men on base, 8 in scoring position in the last 7 innings of this series. So the Indians pitchers, give them a tip of the cap for making good pitches. And you know, Masterson did a nice job last night, and then Pistano came in. Hard hit ground ball between third and short. And the Yankees get their leadoff man aboard.
Third hit by the Yankees already.
Stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. At home this year, Jimenez, a very respectable 5-3 and a 3.39 ERA. On the road, it's just a complete about face.
Okay, that's the largest in the American League. It is. Who can figure it out? You just can't figure it out. Already, though, in today's game, this is his 7th hitter, but he's had 4 2-0 counts.
Swung out and missed. He tied up Ibanez with a pitch inside. One and 2 the count on the Yankee DH, who's 0 for 8 in the series. Missed way outside, 2-2. Wow, man, he banged that one, and that's that splitter again. Occasionally, he'll just lose the feel for it, and that's when that catcher's really got to be on his toes, because that's a ball that he can bounce, and it can bounce anywhere 2-3 feet in front of the plate. And he comes back to earn a walk. Wow. Had him down in the count, couldn't put him away. And now the Yankees have their first 2 on with nobody out here in the second. Here's today's trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Former Indians outfielder had the last of his 9 career walk-off hits on this day in 1987. We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. There's Ichiro. Squared to bunt. Tell you what, Eric Chavez was looking down at his third base coach because he was way off at second.
And that's what happened to Lou Marson last night on the bunt attempt. You know, he was looking over there. Maybe the bunt wasn't on and Ichiro was doing it on his own to move these guys. But you see, he just pulled it back. He didn't want to try and bunt.
But did you see, I mean, Chavez, he took a good 2-3 strides just as he does again here.
Oh.
That one's lined right up the middle. It might have got a piece of Jimenez's glove. They're going to wave Chavez around and he will score. And New York takes a 1-0 lead on a ball that nearly
decapitated him. Yeah, if he doesn't get leather on it, I don't think Chavez scores. This one, I mean, was right to where he was running, and it goes off the tip of his glove. That's the second straight start that's happened to Jimenez. Look at that, was right at that was a coconut shot. Right at the head. He deflected it, goes into center field. So the Yankees will play from in front tonight. Ichiro a single, his 42nd RBI of the year.
Bunt perfectly laid down the third baseline. Hanahan fires to first where Kipnis takes the throw. And that's out number one. And now Yankees at second and third, and Derek Jeter coming up. So here's Chris Stewart, who hardly plays at all. When you look at Stewart, this is just the 42nd game he's played in this year, but that's his third sacrifice bunt.
Well, and he does it first time. That's his job. Make the third baseman field it. Ubaldo, get out of the way. Let the players make the play. They get the out, but he gets his job done. They move the runners up.
Stewart has as many sacrifice bunts as the Indians team leader, Jason Kipnis, who also has 3. And a ball down low to Derek Jeter. The 1-0, and a breaking ball just fouled off the end of the bat, 1-1. Fastball, and that's a called a ball. That looked like a perfect pitch right on the outside corner.
Well, there's been a couple close ones. Let's see. He's sitting right on the outside edge. That's a strike.
When you're Derek Jeter, I guess you get that call.
Well,
fouled off the end of the bat again.
I'll tell you that if you call strikes, it should be. Hitters will swing the bat a lot more than they do.
Second and third, 1 out, 2-2 pitch to Jeter. Bang on the ground to third. Hanahan coming. Well, he looked home and then goes to first for the out. 2 down, 2-0 New York.
It's good base running by Ibanez. He took off on contact. And, he doesn't run fast. But he got a good jump, and Hanahan was moving away from the play, so that enables him to score. He wasn't sure he could come home and get him. You have to get it out in this situation. Watch the jump. He's off and running. Good jump by a veteran. Hanahan thought about it, but realized, let me go to first base.
Well, Santana was pointing him that way.
Yes. Too tough of a play. But unless it's hit directly at you, you start that runner and you get a decent jump, you're going to score.
Now Nick Swisher, a base hit his first time up with a runner at third and 2 down, and New York on top 2-0. Hit back out of play. Jimenez has already made 45 pitches. And he'll make some more. Swisher with an RBI base hit in the left center field makes it 3-0. And he holds it first with a long 2-out RBI knock. He's 2 for 2 and now 6 for 9 in the series.
Well, Look at the location. It's sitting there at Broadway. It looked like a splitter. Stays middle of the plate. Swisher stays on it and goes the other way. So a 2-out base hit gives the the Yankees their third run in the inning. And he has given up 5 hits already. We're in inning number 2.
7th man to bat is Robinson Cano. Up high, ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. High fly ball, deep right field. Back is Chu, fighting the sun. Makes the catch on the warning track to end the inning. But the Yankees rally for 3 here in the second to take a 3-0 lead. Lead for the Tribe. Michael Brantley, Casey Kochman, and Matt Laporta do up here. Michael Brantley 2 for 7 in the series with a home run. It's quickly 0-2. Golfed foul down into the lower deck. Ricocheted off an empty seat and all the way back out onto the field. Here's our great clip of the game from last night. First pitch, Brantley saw. See ya. 3-run homer with 2 outs in the first inning. Gave the Indians all the offense they would need thanks to Masterson in the bullpen. Great clips. It's going to be great.
Yeah, one of the few times they were able to grab a lead and keep it in that 9-game stretch.
Of his 6 home runs, Michael's only hit 1 solo shot. So he's made the most of his home runs in terms of productivity.
Well, you look at him now, he has 55 RBIs. Now he hit leadoff for a while. He's been moved all over the place. He's going to reach there too.
That strikeout, but the ball goes to the backstop and Brantley's aboard. First strikeout for Garcia. Not surprising, it's of the swinging variety.
This ball just gets away. See what happens if Stewart, it's a breaking ball that goes down and in, had good movement to it.
I think that's got to be a pass ball.
Well, you would think so. Glove. Yeah, I know it. You would think so. It didn't really go down there and get into the dirt.
And it is ruled a pass ball.
I mean, that's just that pitch was down and had some good bite to it.
Yep. Now Casey Kochman. I don't know if you ever did any catching, but I'm thinking if you don't play every day, that's a tough ball because it's got that late break, late movement on it. When you're not catching every day, you wonder if that's just a ball that normally you get to.
Well, and you don't know how many times he's caught Garcia either and what his pitches do. No, and I haven't spent much time behind the plate. Thank you.
I was a catcher in T-ball.
Well, the ball moves a lot there.
I didn't have a single pass ball.
You had a tough time picking it up, putting it back on the tee, didn't you?
Brantley back on the dive.
I had a good year. I only had 3 pass balls that year.
Garcia turns, fires. Brantley back with a dive.
Well, he knows now. In the first, Kipnis took off, stole a base, so he figures that they will try and be aggressive here. So he's going to pay maybe a little more attention to some of the guys that can steal a base. As I told you now, they're 13 out of 15 in that department.
2-1 the count. Raining in Baltimore where the Blue Jays and the Orioles are in a rain
storm
delay.
Coming up the coast, you think?
Could be. Never thought about that. 2-1. Kochman checks. Yes, did he go? They appeal. He did, says Adrian Johnson, and it's 2-2. Is that why Oakland and Tampa wrapped up their series early? Was it the storm or the convention?
No, it was a convention where they're, Sunday, and I think the convention got pushed back a day because of the storm.
So the A's, they're here already, spending an off day today, unusually on a Sunday, waiting for the series to start tomorrow. Popped them up on the infield. Well, that is the third pop-up on the infield today already. Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Let's take a look at some of the big injuries around the big leagues. Ben Sheets on the 15 DDL for Atlanta.
You figured it would be just a matter of time with him.
Billingsley down for the Dodgers, and Jose Bautista, you mentioned earlier, with soreness in that left wrist.
Yeah, he went back on it, came back, played a number of games, and then right back on it.
The Dodgers got the big home run last night from Adrian Gonzalez in his first at bat.
That proves you can fly on the day of the game and go out there and perform.
Well, how do you know? What do you know about
West
that?
Coast.
Yeah, huh? How do you like that? Also, Vin Scully has announced he'll be back for a 64th season in the booth.
Unbelievable.
Said he's really just been. Brantley takes off. Here's the throw down to second base, and they got him.
Boy, Stewart got rid of it quickly.
Throw.
He sure did, and this time it was right on the money. Michael had a pretty good jump, but I mean, he got rid of the ball in a hurry. He's a tall guy. Watch him how quickly, and it was a breaking ball. That release and ball down to second base, I guarantee, is under 2 seconds. I know, Murph, you'll get a look at it. and time it, but it's right on the money, and the tag by Cano gets Brantley right before he gets the hand in. Good throw.
And Matt Laporta, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anyway, I was saying Vince Scully says that he's really been re-energized by the new ownership group that's taken over with the Dodgers, and so he says he's going to come back. He works home games and road games that are west of the Rockies, so primarily staying in L.A. and out west. Another pop-up. Man, this is unreal. The Indians hitting them sky high, but to no avail. It's 3-0 New York as we go to the third. Popped up, and Teixeira's ball will make it into the seat. Santana gave it a cursory glance, but no chance to get to it. 1-2 the count. And the 1-2. Missed outside with it.
You know, he did the same thing to Ibanez last inning after the leadoff single. He had him down in the count 1-2 and ended up walking him. And those last couple pitches, not even close to getting him to maybe swing at. And now you let him right back into the count.
And a line drive base hit. Chu on the warning track cuts it off and holds Teixeira to about as long a single as you can have. And that's Teixeira's first hit in the series.
3-2 goes at him with the heater. And I said he's a good high ball hitter. He goes out and pulls that one. Doesn't quite get it into the corner. Chu cuts it off on the backhanded side, so saves an extra base right there. So it'll be a long single for Mark Teixeira.
And Granderson, a swing and a miss. Curtis flied to deep left his first time up. out of play. We've had some folks asking, what is that odd-looking stripe behind home plate that circles around and goes all the way down the first baseline? And it's not there for aesthetic pleasure. It's a result of a blown hydraulic line on one of the lawnmowers here at the ballpark. Ball down low to Curtis Granderson.
You weren't driving that lawnmower, were you?
It looks like a skid mark where
mean,
somebody
it's
peeled out and took off. The 1-2. Up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Personally, I can't say I've ever suffered a blown hydraulic line, so I don't know what it might sound like.
Yeah.
But think about it, if you're driving that thing, you have no idea as you're driving along that it's leaving a trail behind you like that.
Well, it's a perfectly straight line, I'll tell you that, going down.
2-2 pitch. Right back to the screen. You can just see Brandon running behind who's ever on the tractor. Stop! Stop the tractor! Jimenez sets and delivers. And a swing and a miss. He gets him. Second strikeout, 1 down here in the 3rd. On this beautiful Sunday afternoon, let's check in with Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, Puppy Palooza returns to the ballpark this Wednesday. There are still time to get tickets for you and your pooch to get on out here to Progressive Field. It's all sponsored by the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. It's also Sugardale Dollar Dog Night. Log on to Indians.com for all the details.
We'll have dogs after dogs coming out that night.
All kind of dogs. Dogs all over the place.
Dog here, dog there.
Some of them dogs only $1. Pitch up and away to Eric Chavez, who singled and scored his first time up. Now the set on the 2-0. Hit hard to first. Kochman stayed with a tough hop. Goes to second for 1. The return throw in plenty of time for an inning-ending double play. And not many first basemen could stay with that tough hop, but Kochman did. They turn 2. We go to the last of the 3rd. 3-0 New York.
Is it that hot out there?
Well, it's only low 80s, but if you're sitting in that sun, I'll bet it's warm.
I guess it is. They're fanning themselves.
And a strike over the outside corner. Line drive base hit for Jack Hanahan. All the way to the fence. And Hanahan strolls into second base with a leadoff double.
Well, that one leaked out over the plate. And Jack able to pull it down the line into the corner and lead off with a double. For Jack, his 12th double of the year. We'll see if the bottom part of the lineup get him over, get him in. At least get on the board, cut into that 3-0 lead.
Ezequiel Carrera. Trying to bunt him over, but he fouls the bunt third base side. Raining also in Chicago, where the White Sox and the Mariners in a rain delay. Up high, he missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carrera with a ground ball foul, first base side.
I'd like to send out some birthday wishes today. Riley Nemi is turning 10 years old today. Riley, his dad Ed works with our company here at STO. And Lester Frumphausen from Frugality, Pennsylvania is turning 72.
That cannot be a real town.
Yeah, it is. I looked it up today. I didn't
Pennsylvania?
believe it, but it certainly is. It's out near a state park. State Road 53. Got 3 stoplights in the town.
Carrera swings and misses and strikes out. Boy, not a good at bat there. 1 away. Here's our minor league report brought to you by University Hospitals. Justin Toole played 9 positions last night. He's all over the diamond. He even pitched in the 9th.
No kidding. That's good. Now that's a super utility man right there.
Frugality, Pennsylvania.
That's true.
Pitch up high.
Bring it up, Gary, online. We'll show you. I didn't believe him, and I looked it up, or I wasn't going to read it. It's legit. Oh, you need some binoculars to see? Here, let me hold it. My arms are longer.
The strike called. Just south of Fallen Timber. And right of, or would that be east of Prince something Park? I don't know.
2 houses in the town, 1 satellite dish.
1-1. 2 balls and a strike. What was his name? Lester? Lester?
Uh-huh. Frumphausen.
Lester, we need a letter. You need to mail us a letter so that we
Now,
know
happy
that you're
72nd
legit.
birthday, Lester. You are. Either that or tell him to Facebook you.
2-1 pitch. Line drive right at Cano. He turned and missed the ball. He was already thinking about a double play and never caught the baseball. So the Indians catch a break, 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
Well, it was right in his line, and you're right. He got a little too quick for himself there. And that's going to be an error on Cano. Even though the ball was hit right on the nose, he certainly should catch it. But let's watch. He turns to the side, and I think he's turning to throw to second base, maybe to double off Hanahan.
Yep.
And he just didn't. He forgot one thing, to catch the ball. So that's an error. The Indians will send their lead runner to third base, first and third with one out.
And now is Dribble Cabrera, who popped up on the infield his first time up. And a foul by Cabrera. And another foul back. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I'd like to see Kipnis take off just to stay out of a double play, but now 0-2, it may be a tough time. He could go up with a high fastball. That's one thing as Drubel has been recently. I noticed a lot on the last road trip. He gets really aggressive early in the count. Now he's down 0-2, and he's going to have to battle.
Nothing doing. Now the set in the 0-2. Runner goes. Cabrera got a piece of it to stay alive, and Kipnis will have to go back to first. Indians down 3-0, but threatening here in the third. And I mean to tell you, Freddie Garcia has ground this game to a halt. This will be his 50th pitch of the afternoon. Eventually. And it's hit foul. He looks like he's in slow motion.
You know, yeah. You know what happens? You know who else gets like that is Felix Hernandez. You know, when you get runners on, they really slow everything down. Maybe not quite this slow. You ask, Tommy Bo's got it. 14 pitches in 8 minutes.
If he moves any slower, he's going to be moving backwards.
That's our super slow motion cam. They forgot to turn it off.
Kipnis takes off. Huge jump,
Yes,
and Cabrera strikes out.
He sure did.
So they got second and third. Now they're 2 down. Kipnis with his second steal of the day, is 25th of the year. And Cabrera's woes continue at the plate.
Yeah, he took off that away. Stay out of the double play, but Cabrera way too aggressive in that at-bat when you have runners in scoring position. He came out swinging, and he gets himself out. That's where you get yourself out right there in that at-bat.
Yeah, and you almost get
he
the
didn't
feeling,
make him
Rick,
throw strikes.
and it's because of the way he works. He really tests you to the point where is he ever going to throw the ball?
That's where you have to.
Yeah.
You slow down and make sure you don't get in there and hit until you're ready mentally. But as Drubel has been very aggressive recently.
Chu Looks at ball
one thing they've done in the second half of the season. They're hitting .210 with runners in scoring position as a team. And, it just doesn't cut it. They're hitting .235 as a team with 7.7 hits a game and just over 3 runs in the second half. They are 0 for 6 today.
Inside 2-0.
Boy, sometimes that's what happens when you struggle as a team offensively. Everybody tries to do more than they're capable of doing. Pitchers know that. They sense that. They never give in. You have to take your walks. You have to be patient.
Swung on and missed. Boy, you can see Chu. Rarely do you see him come out of his stance like he did right there. But
well, Garcia, if you know him and you watch him and you study him, when he gets behind, he goes softer. He doesn't go harder. So you can go ahead and sit off speed pitch. When the Indians were going well in the first half of the season, what they were doing, they were taking their walks. They were walking 4 or 5 times a game.
Yep. 3-1.
This guy, he just never gives in.
Got to be tough to play behind defensively.
Sure he is. I guarantee those Yankees hate it.
And he walked him ball 4. The bases are loaded with 2 down. And Carlos Santana coming up.
First walk of the day. Well, you can load up on your favorite ballpark food here at Progressive Field, all for just $8. You get the Hot Dog Classic combo deal. It includes a Sugardale all-beef hot dog and a 16-ounce Pepsi and a large popcorn. You got the Brat Classic combo, and that includes a Brat and a 12-ounce beer. Both combos just $8. Log on to Indians.com.
Well, let's see how this matchup goes, because Santana can be overly aggressive. As good an eye as he has at the plate, and he takes his walks probably more than any other Indians hitter.
He sure does.
But when he gets into a situation where there's RBIs and he's a chance to drive him in, he will be overly
He ends
aggressive.
Up getting a long swing and tries to, search the fastball. But they show fastballs to him. They don't consistently throw him a strike, and they attack him with off-speed pitches, and he doesn't adjust.
On the year, with the bases loaded and 2 out, as a team, the Indians are 4 for 45.
Well, you know what'll get you going? Break your bat one time and bloop one in.
Down in the dirt.
They're just a hit away from being right back in the game. 2-out base hit. Brantley did it yesterday. It was a big fly, though, in the first. You just need a spark.
Hanahan doubled to start the inning. Kipnis reached on an error, and Chu walked.
Yeah, you get the extra out in the inning. You have to make teams pay when you get 4 outs in an inning.
Outside, he missed 2-2. The 2-2. Oh. Wow. Very close.
Him.
Garcia is walking in circles around the mound.
Yeah, he was walking to the dugout. And, I mean, when you look at what Gary Cederstrom calls a ball right here, folks. There. Look at him. He's walking off the mound. And he says, I better keep walking. So you go from 0-2 to 3-2.
Everybody moves. Santana gaps one. The Indians could tie it. Chu runs the bases well. Will be off at first. Garcia's payoff pitch. High fly ball right field, and a routine play for Swisher. And the Indians leave them loaded. And after 3, it's still New York 3, Cleveland nothing. Bottom third of the Yankee order due up here. Raul Ibanez, Ichiro, and Chris Stewart. Ibanez walked and scored in the Yankees' 3-run second inning. They've been struggling to score runs of late. As explosive as their offense can be, they've scored 3 runs or less in 4 straight games and 7 times out of their last 11 as Ibanez strikes out 1 down. Now every team is entitled to a slump and every team goes through funks, but you wouldn't think a team that has hit more home runs than any team in Yankee history, 126 games into a season, would go through that kind of a prolonged offensive funk. But maybe that's part of the problem when you kind of live by the home run ball and you get in home run happy. That can put you into a slump offensively.
It sure does. That's the old theory for Earl Weaver. Give me 3-run home runs and solid pitching, and I'll win every time. Yes, you will. But what happens when those 3-run homers don't come? You still have to manufacture runs out there. And in the American League and in the American League East, it's got to be 4 runs a game. You can't always hit home runs to score. And right now, the guys that we mentioned setting the table are Jeter, Swisher, and Cano, really, in this series. Of course, today, in that second inning, Chavez got it going. Ibanez walked. Ichiro got a base hit, a sacrifice bunt, and back up to the top. The 2 boys that, Jeter and Swisher. You need table setters. Guys that are going to hit home runs, that's all well and good. But, how many mistake pitches can you make in one game? Not that every one of them is hit out.
Up and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch will be number 75 for Ubaldo. And That's line to center.
I'll tell you what, Ichiro's got his number today. He picked down a couple that looked like high. First one was a high fastball. This one was a breaking ball, I think, or a splitter that stayed up. But he's roped both of them into center field. Splitter right there. He's 2 for 2. Come into the game, Ichiro was 1 for 8 against Jimenez, now 2 for 2.
Now Chris Stewart to lay down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. That ball almost went into the seats. It was high and tailing, and Kochman did a good job to grab it. Ichiro, 19 steals on the year. Takes the ball down low. I don't know if he was serious about laying down a bunt there. Kipnis coming in from second base to talk to Jimenez. Oh, he got a great jump, and Stewart pops it up. Ichiro will have to retreat. Brantley makes the grab. 2 down. Sports Time Ohio is your home for complete coverage of Cleveland Browns football. Returning very shortly is the GMC Berea Report, the Taco Bell Red Zone, and Sunday Strategy. Plus, you can always check out Steve King at STOHD.com. Total Browns coverage on STO. Tigers Angels tied 1-1. They're in the 4th in Detroit. Boston leading Kansas City 2-0 at Fenway. They're in the 2nd inning. Still raining in Chicago and in Baltimore. Kansas City trailed Boston 9-3 last night at Fenway, but the Royals rallied back to beat the Red Sox
in extra innings.
Boston now 60-67 on the year. I'd say the recent events are really testing the faithful of the fans at Fenway.
Well, it's just been a bad year right from the start. And it's not going to get any better.
The 1-1, and Derek Jeter looks down low. 2 balls and a strike. That's interesting, Rick. Both the Cubs and the White Sox are at home. Rare that both the Chicago teams are home at the same time.
It happens once in a while. I guess same in New York and out in the Bay Area.
Runner at first, 2 down, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. He takes off. Another great jump. Throw down to second base.
Got him.
Play, and they got him. Boy, he had a good jump on Jimenez, but give Santana credit. Making a perfect throw, and the tag applied to end the inning. haven't been able to crack the scoreboard yet. The Yankees with a 3-0 lead. All three of theirs came in the second frame. Michael Brantley will lead it off. And the first pitch bang off the side of the mound. Karams right to Derek Jeter. 1 away. Katie Witham had a chance to catch up with John Glenn, who threw out today's ceremonial first pitch.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Senator John Glenn. And, Senator, we saw you out throwing out the first pitch here today. And I know you had a chance to say a few words about one of your very good friends, Neil Armstrong, who passed away yesterday.
I was glad, and the whole crowd joined in a moment of silence to honor Neil. Neil was a good friend. He was a great American, great astronaut, and a good friend. And so he died yesterday, of course, after having a quadruple heart bypass and some complications of that. So, but Neil was a great guy, and he'll be missed.
Absolutely. Now, I know you're here celebrating your 50th anniversary of your first flight into space. Is this a special moment for you?
Well, it is, in the 50th anniversary. It's hard for me to believe it's been that long. It seems to me like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, because I think it was so impressive on me at the time. Those were all new experiences. And so they were very impressive at the time. And then, of course, I've recalled them so often since then, and I think it's remained very vivid. So it seems to me like a few weeks instead of 50 years. Well,
we're happy to have you here celebrating.
You.
And what impressed me was you getting out on that rubber, throwing out that first pitch. Nice job.
Well, that was my best curveball these days. I've reached an age where my best curveball is curve up and curve down like that.
I liked it. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Guys.
Thanks a lot, Katie. And, you know, sometimes there's too much hyperbole thrown around in everyday life. That guy is truly a great American.
Yeah.
When you think about what he has done for our country.
What they accomplished.
Yeah. I mean, you think about the old Star Trek line, you know, daring to go where no man has come. They did.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally did that. And that's great to see him here today.
Well, and now there's no space program around like it anymore.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. You know, they can't do it anymore. Where these guys once ventured out.
The 0-1.
You know, and he says 50 years ago, it seems like 2 weeks. So that is amazing, where he goes around, and I'm sure first American to orbit the Earth.
Marine Corps pilot.
Cambridge, Ohio.
And at age 77, he was still in the program.
Good for him.
Huh? Think about it, though. I mean, it's hard to even imagine. But once you've seen what they've seen, once you've been to those kind of places, how do you come back here and just get in your Buick and drive down the road?
Yeah. It better be a fast one.
70 pitches for Garcia so far today. He strikes out Laporta, whose bat goes flying. Indians go 1-2-3. Freddie Garcia has struck out 5.
locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. By Kia, Cleveland.com. And by First Merit Bank.
It remains 3-0 New York, 5th inning. Top of the order for the Yankees. Derek Jeter, who was up when Ichiro was thrown out trying to steal to end the 4th. Bloop foul to the right, out of play. Same result, 0-2. The Yankees are headed home. They've got a 6-game homestand coming up with Toronto and Baltimore. The Indians still have 7 more at home after New York leaves. They've got 4 with Oakland starting tomorrow night. And then Texas next weekend.
Baltimore's still in that rain delay, too.
Yeah. I think the Chicago rain delay is still going as well. Swung out and missed. Jeter strikes out. That's 4 Ks for Jimenez. 1 down here in the 5th. We'll go back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Let's go to Detroit. Close ball game today. Angels, Tigers here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Andy Dirks with the runner on first triples him home. That would tie the game at 1. It's Santana on the hill for the Angels. It's Scherzer for the Tigers, and they're still even at 1 now in the bottom of the 5th. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. The Angels started the day 9.5 games back at Texas, but they're still within striking distance in the all-important wild card hunt for L.A.'s sake, anyway. There's a bunch of teams involved, but there are only 4 out there.
They need a little run. They gave one back last night to the Tigers. Their bullpen. It's all going to be about their pitching.
High pop. Out goes Cabrera calling for it. The shortstop under it. 2 down. Well, the Angels are 4 games back, but there are 4 teams in front of them, all within a game and a half of each other. So that wild card jumble is likely to stay that way throughout the rest of the year.
Well, you certainly would think that they have a run left in them over there. Pujols has been out, and they're 5-1 out of the 6 games he's missed. And they gave one back, as I said, late last night.
Well, it's weird because we give it to you the way it sets up, whereas there are 2 wild card teams, but the way the baseball stat pack prints it out, they only give you the wild card leaders, so that's a more accurate picture of what's going on. Imagine if you end up with a 3-way tie. I don't remember what the tiebreaker procedures are. Will they play off?
I don't care. It's a long way to go before that. I don't know.
I think they'd almost have to, wouldn't they? Because remember, folks, the wild card playoff this year is a 1-game deal. The winner goes on.
One and done.
The very next day, there's no off day either. You play and move on and start the next day, the division series.
Well, that means it's going to have to be a day game.
Yeah, you would think so.
It has to be.
Both
if you got to travel. What if you're on the West Coast and you got to come back east to play somebody? So it's got to be a day game.
Deep right, over the head of Chu. Short hops the wall. Takes a kind of a funny carom. And Cano easily into second base with a 2-out double.
This guy has, without a doubt, one of the best swings in baseball.
3rd double in the series.
And the first extra base hit today, although it is the 8th base hit for the Yankees. This guy, I mean, he just looks effortless. He puts a swing on it, and that ball just jumps off his bat. It had the top spin. It comes down. I thought Chu was going to have a chance to maybe get him at second base, but it took a tough bounce on him. And as he turns to throw, it's a little offline. So he goes in standing up. Double number 36 for Cano.
And Mark Teixeira, who singled his last time up to give him his first hit in the series. 1 for 9. High ball 1. Jimenez already at 93 pitches here in the 5th inning. High school football kicks off on STO every Monday with High School Sports Insider. Then on Friday, Mike Cairns brings you the Ohio High School Kickoff Show at 3:30. And check out STOHD.com. They have the complete listing of high school football games of the week. And next Friday, it's Glenville taking on Solon on STO. Good pitch, a strike called, 1-1. Checked it, and he got a piece of his bat, so it's 1-2. The 1-2. Out of play. Tony Sipp now up and throwing in the Indians bullpen as Jimenez closing in on 100 tosses for the day with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Breaking ball missed a little bit low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Cano at second base. Yankees scored 3 runs on 3 hits in the 2nd inning. That's been it. Low, a full count. Boy, you think back to last night, and Justin Masterson came out. You could tell right from the get-go he had it.
Yep,
he had his
sure
stuff.
Could.
And right from the get-go today, you could tell Jimenez, it's been a struggle. A foul ball and a great diving stop by Kochman, though it's all for naught.
Boy, he's pretty good over there. He doesn't miss many. This ball is foul, but if it was fair, it would have been an out and get out of the inning. He's very good defensively.
The 100th pitch of the day. And it's popped up on the infield. Kipnis, Kochman converge. Kipnis says he'll take it. He does. Actually, that's Cabrera with the shift on. Inning over. Middle of the 5th, 3-0 New York. Jimenez. 100 pitches through 5 innings, but only allowing the 3 runs. But the Indians' offense has been stifled by Freddie Garcia. He has struck out 5 in 4 innings of work. Jack Hanahan, who doubled to lead off the 3rd. Looks at a ball down low. Popped him up on the infield. Back goes Cano. He's having trouble with the sun. Makes the catch. Man. 1 away.
It looked like it was going to fall, didn't it, the way he approached it?
Didn't exactly look he had a great beat on it, but obviously he did.
Well, he kept it out of the sun. It's tougher, I think, running in. You see, he realized nobody was going to take it from the outfield. So that sun is over here behind him, so he didn't want to turn around and look up into it. So you just keep running it out. He made it look easy. It's not that easy of a play.
Ezequiel Carrera struck out his first and only time up. Strike 2 called, or yeah, 1-2 the count. Indians had their leadoff man aboard in the first 3 innings of this game. But have not been able to take advantage. They're 0 for 7 with a runner in scoring position. And they've left 4 on. And Carrera strikes out for the 2nd time today, and that's a half dozen punch-outs for Garcia. Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Ichiro Suzuki with an RBI single in the 2nd inning made it 1-0. Derek Jeter's RBI ground out made it 2-zip, and Nick Swisher followed with an opposite field single to make it 3-0. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. And the pitch outside to Jason Kipnis for ball 1. Kipnis reached on an error by Cano in the 3rd. He had a line drive right at the second baseman, who sidestepped it. Was thinking about trying to turn a double play, but never caught the ball. Oh, it hit the bag. Karams by Teixeira down the line. Kipnis on his way to second base. He'll go in standing with a 2-out double.
Well, he won't have to steal second now. He hit a double. That one off the first base bag. Teixeira was diving for it. It was going to go right over the bag, but instead it took a hop and hits it. Look at that thing deflect up in the air, gets down into the corner. So Jason Kipnis now with a 2-out double. The 3rd hit for the Indians. That's Kipnis, his 2nd.
And Asdrubal Cabrera, who has not looked good today, 0 for 2 and 1 for 9 in the series. Overall, just 3 hits in his last 25 at-bats. And it's up and away, ball 1. Garcia's thrown 82 pitches today, and 50 of those have been for strikes.
Now out of the stretch today, Garcia, hitters are 0 for 8 off him. But he really slows it down when he gets guys on base.
Hit him. And the Indians have 2 on with 2 out. So the tying run will come to the plate.
Little breaking ball in the back pocket. He just did the Indians a favor. Cabrera's been struggling up there, so take the hit by pitch and move on.
Shin-Soo Choo has flied to right and walked. He's trying to snap an 0 for 8.
Boy, one swing of the bat could tie this game up here by Choo. People looking for something to go on. It's been a lazy afternoon for them. The Indians only had 4 hits last night. Ended up getting the win.
The 0-1. Missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that was the 25th time that the Indians had 5 hits or less in a game, but only the 2nd time they've won. That's because of the great pitching of Masterson in the bullpen last night. You know, when you think about it too, if you're a starting pitcher for the Indians, it's tough for these guys because they're afraid that, you know, you fall behind early. Not a lot of run support. It's not a come from behind team. That puts a lot of pressure on the pitchers to just shut every offense down night after night after night.
Bounced it in front, and Stewart with a good block. 2-2. Now, those pitchers will all tell you to a man that that's the stuff that's beyond their control.
Yeah, but you know what? Day after day, it wears on you. You can't tell me that mentally they don't go out there thinking, all right, I got to shut them down, and then they make one mistake, and it's like, uh-oh.
And a full count to Choo. Boone Logan loosening for New York. 88 pitches for Garcia. Joe Girardi, like the rest of us, probably feeling like this is getting tough to watch, even though he's pitching a shutout. Runners off on the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded again. Second time in 3 innings, the Indians have them filled. And with 2 down, Carlos Santana will again be the batter. He flied to right and left him loaded to end the 3rd inning. He left a runner stranded at second base to end the 1st inning.
Again, it goes to show you that Garcia, he wasn't going to give in to Choo. He had him down in the count. He ends up walking him. Now it's up to Santana. He's had success today against Santana. Starts him off first pitch breaking ball. Shoot him to left field.
Chops it up the middle. It's through. Scoring his hand, Kipnis. Here comes Cabrera on his heels. He'll score. And all the way to third goes Choo. It's a 1-run game. Carlos Santana jumps on the first pitch and drives in his 55th and 56th runs of the year. And the Indians close to within 3-2, and that's going to be it for Freddie Garcia. He will not qualify for a chance to win here today.
Well, they finally get a base hit with a runner in scoring position. And Santana, after seeing breaking ball after breaking ball first pitch with guys on, it finds a hole, gets into center field. It's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. They're on the board. Kipnis, Cabrera come in to score. Garcia going to have to exit this ball game, but the Indians down a run. It is now 3-2. Progressive Field for an encore performance. That'll be Saturday. The Tribe will host the Texas Rangers, who will be in town. The post-game Rock and Blast fireworks will pay tribute to the music of the Beatles. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Boone Logan on for the 60th time this year. And he comes into a situation with Indians at first and third and 2 down, facing Michael Brantley.
Remember now, this inning started. He had the first 2 outs in the inning, got Hanahan to pop up to second. He struck out Carrera. Then the Kipnis double had hit the bag. He hit Cabrera. Chu walked, and then the base hit by Santana. So the Indians doing this with 2 outs and nobody on. Base hit here will tie the game.
Brantley struck out in the second inning, but reached first on a pass ball, and he was then thrown out trying to steal. Rounded out his last time up. In the dirt. It's 2-0. They've been in a rain delay Chicago for over an hour, or at least close to it, and 2 hours in Baltimore. Now the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 on, 2 out here in the 5th. Brantley bangs at the first, right at Teixeira, inning over. Indians get on the board. Carlos Santana brings home 2 with a 2-out single. 3-2 New York as we go to the 6th. John Glenn, who threw out today's ceremonial first pitch, checking out the Indians in action here today at Progressive Field. And like the rest of us, he's watched 2 starting pitchers that really struggled today. Freddie Garcia didn't make it through 5 innings, and Ubaldo Jimenez Pitched 5 innings, and that's it for him. Tony Sipp coming on now to work the 6th with the Tribe down a run.
Scheduled to face 3 left-handers, really, Granderson, Chavez, and Ibanez. This year, Tony, against left-handers, a .233 average. They are 20 for 86, but they've hit 4 home runs off them. But the Indians back in the ball game. They're down 1. They were able to get 2. They had nobody on base with 2 out and able to put 2 across, so they are right back in it.
Curtis Granderson 0 for 2. Checks on a called strike. High pop, out of play. Joe Smith getting loose in the Tribe pen. Granderson with a smash foul.
Man, not a good 0-2 pitch. He got away with it there. I mean, you watch this breaking ball. Oh, my goodness. He's lucky to get a second chance.
In the dirt. High fly ball, deep right field. Chew back, looking up, goodbye. Tony Sipp serves up a leadoff homer to Curtis Granderson, his 33rd on the year. And it's now New York 4, Cleveland 2.
And would it take 5 pitches for the response to come back and let the Yankees get on the board? Boy, oh boy. You have to come up and put a 0 at second. Breaking ball he sung, and Granderson knew it. This time he waited back long enough. He hit a line drive foul, but he didn't miss this one. Into the seats, the 5th home run that Sipp has given up to a left-hander this year.
Granderson's 200th career home run.
The 195th homer for the Yankees as a team. They're projected to hit, what, 247 home runs this year, which would break their record. .249. Their team record is 244, set in 2009. Isn't that when the new ballpark opened?
It was.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right. And remember, we were there to open it, and we
oh
said,
boy.
wow.
Yeah, this is going to be a hitter friendly.
In the hole, Kochman closes the gap, flips to Sipp. 1 away. AT&T trivia question, answer time. Which former Indians outfielder had the last of his 9 career walk-off hits on this day in '87?
Pat Tabler.
Mr. Walk-Off, they used to call you.
It was this day, though. You know which one it was, too, don't you?
I do. We've only seen it about 643 times.
Well, you got to wait for the boos first before you show the hit.
Raul Ibanez fouling it out of play. Swung out and missed, 0-2. The 2-strike pitch. Right back towards us.
Get it, Matty. Oh, boy, that was about as close.
What about maybe 2 feet and we'd have had it?
Well, no, that was too hard. It almost got Tommy in the forehead.
Would have broke my hand, but I
watch out. Teflon Tommy would have slid off. It wouldn't have stuck to him.
Slipped right off his forehead.
Yeah.
Come on, one more. Let's go. No. Swing and a miss. Sip strikes him out, 2 down. Here's one you've never seen before on this date, 1987.
Evan Miller on this one. Doug Jones, that's who's on deck. 39-game hitting streak. Uh-oh, guess what? Base hit, 0-0 game. Butler comes in. Tiny Felder.
From Albuquerque, New Mexico.
There was. 1-0 game, we win. Johnny Farrell started that game. Molitor had 4 chances to get a hit, and they boo me because I swing one time and got a hit.
What are you going to do?
Hey, we got to go home early. It was 10 innings.
Even when you win, you lose. High pop center.
I sort of had fun with that, though.
Brantley makes the catch, as only you can. New York 4, Cleveland 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Matt Laporta, Jack Hanahan coming up for the Indians. Boone Logan got the last out of the 5th. He stays on to work the 6th. Kochman has popped up, struck out. Chop to second. And Cano throws him out, one away. You can win a $100 gas card courtesy of your Northeast Ohio Shell retailers and True North convenience stores. Just log on to stohd.com now for your chance to win a $100 gas card. And we'll have one new winner drawn each week now until the end of September. Actually, that's coming up. That's today.
No.
September 26th. Oh, that's 1 month from today.
You're a month ahead of yourself, pal. You want to go through summer that fast in life, son? I knew you were in a hurry for some reason today.
Derek Lowe warming in the Yankee bullpen. Matt Laporta, swing and a miss. 1-1 to count. Laporta has fouled out, struck out on the afternoon, and a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Logan just rearing back and throwing it by him at 94. A half swing and a one-hop smash to short. Jeter from the outfield grass throws him out.
Almost looked like he stopped his swing right there.
It was a half swing. Yeah, he got to the strike zone and then
realized that he might have been out front. Let's watch. It's the break he is. He didn't even really swing at that ball. If he swung at it, he might have hit it hard, really hard. It looked like he was a little bit out front. Jeter makes a backhanded play, and I think it sort of tricked him.
Two down, and here's Jack Hanahan. That's low, ball one. Tigers have opened up a 4-1 lead over the Angels in the 7th inning in the Motor City. Still raining in Chicago. White Sox, Mariners in a rain delay. Cubs are in a rain delay at Wrigley. Orioles are in a rain delay at home today as well. Fouled right back. Kansas City leads Boston 4-2. They're in the 5th at Fenway. One pitch inside. 2 balls and a strike. Milwaukee shutting out Pittsburgh. And over at in the Steel City today, 3-0. The Pirates began the day 8 games out in the NL Central, but just 3 games out on the wild card hunt.
Yeah, that offense is slowing down a little bit.
Well, and Cincinnati's not letting up off the gas.
No, they're good, but that St. Louis is getting them today.
St. Louis is within 7 games of Cincinnati.
Cincinnati has played very well this year. When you consider Joey Votto's been out for quite a while.
They're tied for the most wins in the major leagues with Washington, each with 77 coming in today. Washington being shut out by Philadelphia. Is that Cliff Lee going today?
Yes.
The payoff pitch to Hanahan.
Oh,
Strike
boy.
3 called. That'll end the inning. The Indians go 1-2-3. And we move on to the 7th, 4-2 New York.
One of those award-winning post-game fireworks shows will be this Friday night. The Texas Rangers will be in town. The post-game fireworks presented by the Brilliant Electric Sign Company. It will be set to some of your favorite Broadway musicals. You can go online right now, buy tickets early, and save. And while you're there, Indians.com, make sure to check out those brand new transportation options Cleveland has for you. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back over to you guys.
Joe Smith coming on to work the 7th inning for the Tribe. 55th appearance for the Indians right-hander. 7-4, 3.42 ERA. He'll be facing Chris Stewart, Derek Jeter, and Nick Swisher. Yankees 3 in the 2nd inning, and then a solo homer from Curtis Granderson in the 6th. Fouled away. Popped in the air, shallow right, in comes Chu. He's there, he makes the catch. We've got one down here in the 7th. And we'll go back to the studios for another in-game update with Al.
Hey, Matt, you and Rick were talking about the Detroit game last inning. Here's those home runs and how they got those 3. A 2-run shot in the bottom of the 6th there by Prince Fielder. Then on the very next pitch, Delman Young goes yard. Detroit a 4-1 leader. They're in the top of the 8th inning in Detroit. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Here's Derek Jeter, 0 for 3.
Detroit starting to play much better ball at home. You know, they're 30 and 32 on the road. They're under 500. They're looking to go 13 over at home.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Two-strike pitch, and Jeter got a little piece of that. Keeps himself alive. Chopper to third. Hanahan from the cut of the grass. Fires on the run. Kochman digs it out. 2 down.
Well, that's what happened. Yeah, Joe Smith can get that ball in on your hands where you have to try and dig it out and you top it. So 2 up, 2 down in the 7th.
You know, but there again, that's just it's another example of why people around the game admire Derek Jeter. Here he is all these years into his career, and he made Hanahan unload that in a hurry, and it was a bang-bang play.
He hustles down the line every time.
Yeah, it just
doesn't matter the game, the situation. No. It doesn't matter. He's out there. He plays it every day, and it's the way you play the game.
Nick Swisher just smashes one to deep right, and it short hops the wall. Chu playing it on the bounce, fires it in, and Nick Swisher for the second game in a row has 3 hits.
Well, the Indians lucky that one stayed in because that had some topspin to it. And I thought that ball was going to get out of here when it left the bat. With that swing, you think, okay, Smith is looking down. He's saying, please stay in here. You see how quickly it comes down. So it short hops the wall with that spin. So a 2-out double. Swisher 3 hits. He's had a good series.
Yeah.
He likes hitting in this ballpark.
I think I said second game in a row. Second game in the series. He had 3 hits Friday night, 1 hit last night. And now 3 more here today, and they'll intentionally walk Cano, and that's a good idea. The way he's been swinging it.
Yes, indeed. There's another one. You know, they've done a nice job with the Yankees in the series. When you consider, they gave them 3 runs on Friday. They scored a run last night. They only have 4 right now. You hold the Yankees to that, you should win a couple of games with their offense. I mean, when you come down and you think about it, it's just that the Indians haven't been able to score. They scored in 1 inning last night, and that was the 2-out first inning from Brantley. But when you play this team, and we've got another team coming in that you're going to have to score on at the end of this homestand, the Rangers, you've got to score 4 and 5 runs to beat these teams. If you can keep them to 3 or 4 runs, I think that's a good job. You're going to see the Oakland A's coming in tomorrow. That's a team where, okay, you may not have to score a lot.
Breaking ball down and in.
But you may not score a lot because they have pretty solid pitching.
As we saw in our last series in Oakland. And the first 2 starters in that series, left-handers, Brett Anderson and Tommy Malone. Joe Smith ready, the 2-0, and that's a called strike. And now Joe Smith's behind Teixeira, 3-1, with Curtis Granderson coming up next. There's another called strike and a full count. The 3-2, runners go, and a foul ball. Nick Swisher, the runner at second base. Robinson Cano down at first. Yankees with 10 hits on the afternoon, but holding to a 4-2 lead here in the 7th. Runners go. Popped out of play. Come back and try again. Wow, is that right, Rick? Is it? It's raining in Texas. That's got to be part of that hurricane storm then, huh? It never rains in Texas.
Wow, they had started the game, and boy, I guess. Not at this time of year, you wouldn't think.
Think so. I saw there's a hurricane watch in effect for the New Orleans area. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out to get out of the inning. And the Yankees strand a couple on base. Stretch time here in Cleveland, brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic's free walking program. Let's Move It, Mondays at Progressive Field and the Metro Park Zoo. Visit letsmoveit.org for more information. And we get a look in from our Panini camera. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill.
Boone Logan will remain in the game. Carrera, the left-hander, Kipnis, the left-hander, and then the switch hitter, Cabrera. Little seventh inning stretch here for the fans.
Well, Ezekiel Carrera is 0 for 2. He has struck out both times today. But he will start the bottom of the seventh and try to get the Indians rolling here. Boone Logan has retired all 4 that he has faced.
Carrera was able to get a hit yesterday because of the way he can bunt. He has Cano really in about halfway at second base, just in case, and he was able to pull one in that hole. This time he's leaving the box way too early. He pulled the ball in that hole Cano had to dive for, and it went off his glove yesterday for a hit.
Missed with that pitch, 2-1. He's trying to drag bunt it. It's 2-2 now. And he quickly disposes of Carrera, who strikes out for the third time. One down. Our Ford highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. And Jason Kipnis has done a nice job at the top of the order. He has singled, stolen 2 bases, he has doubled, and he has scored a run. Logan misses outside for ball 1. The pitch, and Kipnis looks down and in. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a base hit up the middle for Jason Kipnis, who has his 3rd hit today. And the Indians have a 1-out base runner. Tying run coming to the plate now is Drupal Cabrera. And Joe Girardi's going to make a pitching change. Kipnis, who sparked a 2-out rally in the 5th with a double, hoping to do the same thing with his single here in the 7th. New pitcher coming on when we come back.
Donating $5 to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips donates $50 per homer. $6,840 raised so far this year. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Well, David Robertson coming on to pitch for New York now, 45th appearance of the year with 1 on and 1 out. Boone Logan went an inning and 2/3, struck out a couple, gave up the hit to Kipnis, and gets the hook in favor of Robertson now, who will be facing Asdrubal Cabrera, who was 0 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch in the 5th and then came around to score in that inning. But Cabrera offensively is really deep in a slump.
Well, Robertson coming on. He pitched an inning in Friday night's ball game. Had zeros across the board and had a strikeout, which he is a strikeout pitcher. In his career, averages 12 strikeouts per 9 innings.
And a little bloop popped up left center. Granderson makes the catch. 2 down. He's not even hitting balls hard. So at 2 away, it'll bring up Shin-Soo Choo, who has walked twice. But those 2 walks came against Freddie Garcia. He's one of the only Indians hitters today who was able to wait him out and be patient. Garcia only lasted 4 2/3 innings, primarily because I think he wore out the patience of Joe Girardi. Chu checks, and it glanced off the bat foul. They're in the 9th in Detroit. Tigers over the Angels 5-1. Red Sox Royals tied 4-4. They're in the 6th at Fenway. Still raining in Baltimore and in Chicago. So 3 games being held hostage right now by Mother Nature. Also down in Texas. Throw down to second, and an easy steal there for Jason Kipnis. So he's in a scoring position with 2 down, with his 3rd stolen base of the day. Now 26 on the year.
Well, why not? I mean, you got to try and make something happen. He realized I can get a jump off Robertson. He's got a long stride to home plate. That's why that ball explodes out of his hand, and he steals his 3rd bag of the day.
High chopper off the plate, Robertson. The quick flip ends the inning. We go to the 8th, 4-2 New York.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Eighth inning, 4-2, New York. They've out-hit the Indians 10-5. Curtis Granderson, Eric Chavez, Raul Ibanez due up for the Bronx Bombers. Here's Rogers, the wind and the pitch, and it's up high, ball one. Granderson homered his last time up, giving him 33 on the year. Just his second hit in this series.
Well, he gets a breaking ball, hanging one from Tony Sipp. And this is right after the Indians came back. Made it a 3-2 game. He promptly made it 4-2. And that's where we stand.
Rogers off the mound, a nice play and a flip to first, one away. Our in-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come see the all-new 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. No hits for Derek Jeter, but Nick Swisher and Robinson Cano have done some damage. Granderson's home run we just showed you. Yankees scoring 3 of their runs in that second inning. When this guy, Eric Chavez, started it with a base hit, Ibanez walked behind him. Ichiro drove in a run with a line drive single. And then Derek Jeter had an RBI ground out. Nick Swisher drove in a run with an opposite field single. That was the Yankees' big inning here today. And a bouncing ball in the hole. Kipnis flags it down, throws from the grass to get him 2 away. Showed a lot of range that time, did Jason Kipnis. Went a long way to his left, and he's played a stellar game here this afternoon. Kipnis with 3 hits, a run scored, 3 stolen bases, and as always, hustling, gritty defense.
Well, and got in on Chavez a little bit. Makes a nice play, ranging to his left, and the throw across. Out number 2.
Now Raul Ibanez 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Popped up. Should be playable here. Hanahan over into foul ground. Makes the grab to end the inning. The Yankees go 1-2-3 on 8 pitches. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 New York. Bottom of the 8th inning for the Indians, it will be Carlos Santana, Michael Brantley, and Casey Kochman. David Robertson, who got the last 2 outs of the 7th, will stay on here to pitch the 8th. Santana drove in the only runs of the day for the Tribe back in the 5th inning with a 2-out, 2-run single up the middle.
All right, you can turn the music off now.
That's what they're waiting for.
Yeah,
okay.
I know. The umpire's looking up there. Don't be afraid to hit the stop button.
Get the needle off the record. And Santana takes a strike. He is 1 for 3 on the day. 3 for 10 in the series. Right back over the screen. The 1-2. Way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he strikes him out with a high fastball. First strikeout for Robertson, 1 down here in the 8th.
He has a little extra giddy up on that fastball, especially when it's upstairs. There you go. It's above the belt. Tough to catch up to, and it's got that little extra giddy up. But look at it coming from behind. You may pick it up a little better as a hitter, but it gets on you a little quicker as well.
A little bit low, ball 1 to Michael Brantley, who is 0 for 3 today. That was called a ball, 2-1. Joe Girardi, there's a lot of chirping going on. That's Stewart. I think that's Stewart.
Yeah, it's the umpire also telling him that ball was a ball because I called it a ball.
It's interesting that Gary Cederstrom hasn't even moved from his position behind the plate.
Well, you know what? There's barking going on without any heads turning. And that's okay when you do it that way. But, you know, and then Roberts, he yelled out to the body. He said, I didn't say anything. It might have been his catcher or somebody yelling. I heard somebody chirping.
Yeah.
But the first pitch was a pretty good pitch, called a ball. Then he thought that one inside was a pretty good pitch.
Brantley promptly lines it into right center for a base hit. And the Indians will get the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th inning, just as they did in the 7th. It will be Casey Kochman 0 for 3.
Come right back in. That's a pretty good time to go ahead and hit on the next pitch after the umpire. Somebody's arguing, because you figure he's got to throw a pretty good pitch here. He's not going to nibble.
And if it's close, he's going to call it a strike now.
No, if it's close, he'll call it a ball for arguing.
There's a strike to Kochman, 0-1. Throw to first, back with a dive, Brantley. Michael was thrown out trying to steal in the 2nd inning. The 1-1. Chopped to first, but foul. It's a final in the Motor City. Detroit beats the Angels 5-2. LA continues to sputter. They dropped to 66 and 62 on the year. Kochman strikes out, 2 down.
This will take you off that good fastball he's got. That's the slow curveball. That's the equalizer right there.
Well, we got a timeout here as Joe Girardi is going to go to his bullpen. Is that Rafael Soriano?
I guess it is.
All right, he's going to his closer for a 4-out save when we come back. Scenario here with 1 on and 2 out, and Matt Laporta coming to the plate. Joe Girardi going to his closer, Rafael Soriano.
Well, there's a reason for it. I mean, he's looking for his 33rd save, but you know, you need the last out in this inning. Robertson was throwing the ball very well. He had 2 strikeouts, although Brantley got the hit after they complained, you know, on some calls there. But he goes to his closer for a 4-out save here.
And Laporta hits a hanger to deep left field. Back is Ichiro, makes the catch right in front of the wall to end the inning. So Laporta gave it a ride, but the inning is over. 4-2 New York. Ichiro, Chris Stewart, and Derek Jeter due up for the Yanks. Well, they've rained out the game in Baltimore between the Blue Jays and the Orioles.
Well, that's a divisional game, so they'll meet again, so they'll have an opportunity.
They waited 3 hours.
Yeah.
Let's see about
and probably more to come on the coast.
See what they decide to do. Oh, they've started in Chicago, so the rain has finally moved out. The White Sox Mariners now underway. Chopped to second base. Kipnis throws him out, 1 away. We'll have the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show coming up after the ball game. Stay tuned for that straight ahead. Cubs Rockies still in a rain delay, though, at Wrigley Field. So interesting that they've started on the south side of Chicago, but still delayed on the north side. Texas still in a rain delay at home against Minnesota. Man, Esmail Rogers fires a strike to Chris Stewart. He is 0 for 2, a sacrifice bunt back in the second inning. Chop foul, third base side. 0-2 the count. St. Louis continues to put it to Cincinnati today, 7-2. That was Wainwright and Homer Bailey.
Wainwright seems to be back, my friend.
That's big for them because they lost Carpenter.
Yeah, he's been pitching very well.
A little bit high. Milwaukee thumping Pittsburgh 7-0 now in the 7th inning. Boston's gone ahead of KC at Fenway 5-4. They're in the 7th inning there. Stewart with a line drive base hit to left center field. The 1-on, 1-out now for Derek Jeter. Ball one from Rogers. Two balls, no strikes. Jeter goes the other way, but foul out of play down the right side. Not sure how well the crowd mics pick it up, but the throng of Yankee fans here today started the chant of "Let's go Jeter" and immediately started to be drowned out by the boos from the Indians fans.
Well, they want to see him get a base hit today. This may be the only time they see him in Cleveland, and they pick Sunday. He's had 2 hits in the first 2 games of this series. They want to see him get a base hit.
Picked up an RBI back in the second. He's got a ton of those in his career. 44 on the year.
He's got a ton of everything in his career.
Runner goes. Pitch fouled out of play. Full count.
Well, he started the catcher, Stewart, 3-1 count. You know, Jeter, he knows the strike zone. He'll lay off a ball, but stay out of the double play. So if you start him 3-1, he'll start him 3-2 as well.
Rogers sets. Here's the payoff pitch. See Lenny Barker here today taking in the game with the former skipper Mike Hargrove. Ground ball to second. Kipnis goes to second. They get the out there, and Cabrera still turns 2. Nicely done by the Indians' keystone combination. And we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Tribe needs a rally, down 4-2. 4-2. Due up for the Tribe, Jack Hanahan, Ezekiel Carrera, and Jason Kipnis. Right-hander Rafael Soriano completing his warm-up tosses, if that's what you want to call it. He just threw that last pitch in there standing straight up. He just sort of lobbed it in there. He got out of the 8th inning when Matt Laporta hit a hanging slider to deep left field, and Ichiro caught it about a stride in front of the wall. Now he'll try to pitch through the 9th to secure the save for New York. Told you last night, his numbers are incredible. Given that, you know, he was taking over for the greatest closer of all time after Mariano Rivera went down with an injury. But he doesn't have, I don't think he has any one pitch that you would call, boy, electric.
No, he doesn't. He just has the knack of going out there and save. He really struggled in Friday night's ball game to get the save. He gave up a couple of singles, an intentional walk. They ended up getting the save. And anytime we've seen him this year, he has struggled. But, you know, he went down there and really had a year down in Tampa before he was signed by the Yankees to come out and had a tremendous year there. You know what closing is all about. It's all about the heart and the guts. And you've got to have that mentality to do it in the 9th inning.
Hanahan slicing it out of play.
45 saves that year down with Tampa.
Never has there been a job in baseball that has been more defined by the famous quote of "Don't be afraid to fail," because you will occasionally. Not that often,
will.
but
no,
you
they
will.
all do.
You'll get your lunch every once in a while, but you can't be afraid to give it up because it's going to happen.
He's doing it in the shadows of the best that's hurt. And, you know, they didn't expect him to be hurt this year. Rivera, he promises to be back.
Hanahan with a line drive single to left field. Ichiro playing it on a hop. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard and the tying run to the plate the rest of the inning. And so Ezekiel Carrera will be coming up now.
Just take him the other way. There's that first base runner. That brings a tying run to the plate. Boy, get a couple guys on. You never know what can happen.
Ezekiel Carrera has struck out all 3 times up here today. Checks, and it's a called strike 1-1. Going the other way, Jeter. They'll go to second. They'll get the lead runner, Hanahan, 1 away. And now Jason Kipnis coming up. He's had a great day swinging the bat. 3 for 4. 2 singles, a double, 3 stolen bases, and a run scored. They shade him up the middle. They give him a big hole on the right side and the left side. And the way he has swung the bat, if Soriano throws him a fastball away, he might just punch it through that left side.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Instead, they come in for strike 1. They set up inside again. Move the feet. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, he's proven he'll take the base hit the other way to these guys, so they want to establish inside. And a lot of times you won't see closers coming and pitching inside with the game on the line, when one swing of the bat could tie the game up. They like to try and get you out of the way or make you hit the ball that way and beat you for the big part of the field.
Missed away with it, 2-1.
But he's gone deep. He nibbles sometimes. Well, he has against us. I can only say when he's pitched against us. I can't say that I see him all the time pitching, but he likes that little slider, too, to wrap around the outside part of the plate. Coming back in.
Missed, 3 balls and a strike. You can see Kipnis' discipline, not offering it that ball in off the plate, where some left-handed hitters can't help themselves.
Well, he doesn't want to walk him. He wants to throw a strike.
And a smash! It knocks Soriano back a step, but he's able to knock it down, and he still throws him out. Wow, what a break he just caught.
He is lucky. His heart just skipped a beat, my friends, because that ball, he just knocked it down from hitting him right in the face.
I'm wondering if it did maybe ricochet and hit him. Otherwise, why would they be going out to check on him? I thought it hit him square in the glove.
Hand, maybe the pitching hand. Watch the hand. See, it hit him in the hand.
It ricocheted off his glove and it hit him on the wrist.
Yes,
maybe,
it
Rick.
did. Right here on the meat part of the palm. Oh boy, that was a base hit waiting to happen, and then he gets it right back. He's lucky. My goodness, he couldn't get out of the way. He was fortunate to get a glove up. He knocked it down. And I mean, you watch it full speed. Huh? He is lucky to get it out, and he's lucky he didn't get hurt. But that stung his hand.
And it's hard to tell if it might have caught him on the pinky or just square on the wrist or the side of the hand.
I'm thinking right there. Because his hand got out of the way. If it caught him on the pinky, he wouldn't be feeling it. That ball wouldn't be able to put it underneath the baseball.
And he's going to stay in there. And with 2 down, the Indians' last hope is Asdrubal Cabrera. And Cabrera looks at ball 1 down low.
Here's one more look, a little closer. See the meat part of that hand?
Yeah,
right
you're
there.
Right. Yeah.
On the outside part of his pitching hand.
Line to left, but slicing out of play. And a liner to first caught by Teixeira. That ends the ball game as New York hangs on to win it 4-2, and they take 2 out of 3 to win the series. And Rafael Soriano going to be getting that hand checked out.
Yes, sir.
Time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Now you come back, Curtis Granderson, the 6th inning. After the Indians made it a 3-2 ball game, Granderson comes right back, career number 200 for him. With a breaking ball off of Tony Sipp. That made it a 4-2 ball game. It took 5 pitches for him to respond, and that's career number 200 for Curtis Granderson.
Key play of the game brought to you by KeyBank. Earn double rewards points during the KeyBank Summer of Rewards. Final numbers today: New York 4 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 6 men left. The Indians 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 9 stranded. Winning pitcher Boone Logan, he is 5-2. The save to Rafael Soriano, who picks up his 33rd for New York. The losing pitcher Ubaldo Jimenez, he drops to 9-13 on the year. New York is 74-53. The Indians 55-72. Time of the game 3 hours 10 minutes. The attendance 26,166. We're back with the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show next.